Kalyn Ponga there, you can see he is already showered and dressed back in his suit. It was about 20 minutes to go in this game. He limped off and everyone here saw it and identified the issue straight away with that foot injury. It was off a tackle where not really anything seemed to be obviously wrong, but he will go for scans on that foot injury. And Brandy, you know that he's got a history with foot issues.
Vonnie, I just remember him having a problem with a foot, and it was last year. You know how sometimes you forget exactly when an injury occurred, but it was last year around April, so it was probably half a dozen rounds into the competition. He missed 12 weeks with a Liz Frank injury, so hopefully that's and here it is, and it's just the foot bending over the top of the stopping and then the bending, and it's a problem in the midfoot, and whether it's a ligament, sometimes it can be ruptured. But that was a problem he had last year. Hopefully it's not that serious this year. But as you said, he'll go for scans.
That doesn't look too good walking like that when you can't put any weight through your foot. I've got to say, that's not good sign.
So what does that mean for Queensland and the Knights?
Well, it throws... Well, the Knights, devastating news for them. Queensland, devastating for them as well, but they've got options with Reece Walsh or the Redcliffe.
Hamaso, Tabuai-Fidow, yep.
Tabuai-Fidow would come into that position, one of those two. But, yeah, bad news for the Knights, seeing him. And bad for the game as well. We want our best players playing every week. Newcastle could get on a run and push their way into the 8, but they finished off strongly there in the game without Ponga. So some good signs then for the Knights as well. Every
back end of the season for Newcastle, when they have caught fire, has been off the back of Kalyn Ponga, and he's been the man to lead them, you know, whether they've scraped into the 8 or you know, done it in a different manner, but Kalyn Ponga has been the man to take them there.
He has. He's not having that sort of season this year. Like the last couple of weeks, he's been good. He was good in their win over the Dolphins. A couple of little clever kicks. Started the second half and really troubled the Canberra Raiders down that left side. But you know, let's just hope that the injury isn't severe and that Kalyn can be on the field for the Knights and Queensland.
Yeah, hopefully it isn't anything too serious. And you know, if the Knights are going to go on a run, it's going to be down to him. They've got the hardest part of the game figured out, and that is defence. They have no defensive issues. In fact, they're one of the strongest statistical defensive sides in the competition, which is very difficult to do and achieve. But the points is what they're lacking. And when you look at the Newcastle team on paper, Best springs to mind. Young, he's returned to the football club. He'll give you plenty of points, but the creativity really is Ponga. I thought Hastings added a little bit today. Yeah, and obviously they've had those issues. That seems to be all patched over. But really, if they're going to go on a run, it's going to be inspired by Kalyn Ponga and linking up with the likes of Best, Schiller, Young and Giga.
Yeah. Well, their backup is Fletcher Sharp, isn't it?
Who's out for the season. Yeah. After that, he had surgery on a ruptured spleen and kidney.
Over in Perth. Is he back from Perth?
He arrived back yesterday. Oh, okay. So he is back in Newcastle, but gone for the season. So that was the very suitable option at fullback should Kalyn Ponga not be okay. This is the latest article from the Courier Mail. Walsh is origin ready if recalled, meaning Reece Walsh is ready to take that phone call from Billy Slater. We know how much Billy thinks of Reece, but if Kalyn Ponga is not 100% for this all-important Game 3 State of Origin decider in a couple of weeks' time in Sydney, Kev, Reece Walsh, he's been there, he's done it before.
He has at origin level. He was good second half last week, a bit rusty in the first half. I think it took him 40 minutes to warm his knee up to get it going. But, yeah, some options there for Queens. Ideally, Ponga would be playing, but just looking at those photos and shots from the sheds, he'd more than likely be out. So it'll be either Reece Walsh or Hammer that comes in that fullback role. So two good options for Queensland.
He still looks like he's just
not
hampered by that knee. You know, and Jimmy, you saw him in the warm-up as I did. I thought watching him in the warm-up that he mightn't even take the field.
Well, I think most people that witnessed that warm-up thought he was gone. I just wonder if it's the strapping that maybe doesn't allow for full flexion or extension, rather, of the leg. Yeah. And maybe that's... He was just, you know, just finding his feet, finding his rhythm there. Because you're right, he was better in the second half. But, you know, Reece Walsh at his devastating best is... he's one of the best
pretty
players
good.
in the competition, isn't he, Kev? You know that more than anyone, and he's not quite at that level yet, and I think that's due to the injury concerns.
Yeah, but the positives are for Queensland, there are some good options there if Kalyn isn't fit, and Reece Walsh has played Origin before as well in the fullback role. So, yeah, let's just see what happens the next couple of days. Big day tomorrow for the Broncos up against the Warriors at Suncorp, and big day for Reece Walsh as well.
Kevin, you'll be there live and exclusive for Fox League on our Super Saturday. We are standing by to hear from Newcastle coach Adam O'Brien to get the latest on Kalyn Ponga's foot injury.